Fire officials said earlier today that they estimated the size of the Ford Corkscrew fire at 5,000 acres, and crews believe that it has actually grown by a couple thousand more acres by now. If it has grown that much, it is about twice the size of Cheney. Yeah, we are on a side street just off of Washington and Augusta here just north of downtown, and as you can see, the snow is pretty deep, caused by people going through it and the plows coming through. It's actually above my boots, which are pretty thick. Yeah, the map behind me shows all of the school districts in Washington, barring a few private school districts that are surrounded by bigger public school districts. The districts highlighted in purple now had its superintendent sign that letter asking for the mask mandate in schools to be lifted. The numbers back them up. Let's take a look at just how hard it is to buy a house in Coeur d'Alene as compared to Charlotte. Some signs of the Babb Road fire that destroyed most of Malden and Pine City are still around 1 year later. We're here at Washington and Mission, and let me tell you, it is starting to get slick. We actually saw a truck unable to make it up the road here just earlier today. You see here, it goes all the way still, just like last night, down in Plummer, all the way up to Lake Pend Oreille. But one thing to note, Lake Coeur d'Alene, a lot more people than last night. This is like a Christmas tree last night. It's not hard to see why people are flocking to Coeur d'Alene. Between a plethora of new developments, numerous recreational opportunities, and the natural beauty of the area, it's an attractive place for a lot of potential home buyers. This is making it hard for some people to close on a house or a condo. If all goes to plan, Brooks Seaplanes will have a new owner by the end of summer. The new owner plans on continuing the Brooks Seaplane tradition in North Idaho, but also has plans for some safety upgrades.
KREM 2's Ian Smay spoke with several of them who say that they have tried for more than a year now to get their money back. Ian?
The people we talked to all say they reached out to Spokane Shock owner Sam Adams multiple times, either by phone or through email. They told me he promised the money would be refunded, but now nearly 2 years later, it still hasn't arrived.
Number 9? Oh, that's old Meyer.
Jerry Mulick is a retired disabled veteran who spent 20 years in the United States Navy. He has also been a diehard Spokane Shock fan since the team's first season in 2006.
My jerseys were cleaned. I've got one of the old Shock jackets. I mean, I was ready. We were ready to go.
For Mulick, it brought back memories from when he used to play during his time in the Navy.
I love the Shock. I mean, I love just watching, and because it reminded me of my days of playing.
He bought 4 season tickets for the 2020 season so he and his son could watch the games.
Gave us some good experiences and good times through a bad divorce. It actually gave us something to feel happy for.
But then, the 2020 season got canceled due to the COVID pandemic, and Mulick's son started losing interest in football. Season ticket holders like Mulick were offered refunds or the option to roll over their season tickets to the 2021 season. Mulick said he told the Shock he wanted a refund in March of 2021.
The guy told me, not a problem, we'll put you in for it. And a couple months rolled by and I called back and he says, oh, it's in process.
Mulick says months went by and the $1,354 he paid never showed up. He showed us these emails that say they're from Shock owner Sam Adams, saying he'd received Mulick's receipt, and another saying, I have not ignored you. I granted the refund. You are good. Again, months went by, and still no refund.
So the money would help me at least make ends meet. I'm living paycheck to paycheck.
Mulick isn't the only season ticket holder having trouble. Tony McElwain said he's owed about $900 for 2 season tickets. He showed KREM text messages, again saying they're from Sam Adams, one including profanity.
I think he didn't actually realize who he was talking to, and he lost it and come off with some real strong words. And once he realized that it was a fan, he kind of apologized, but I mean, they were 4-letter words.
Brett Zaboski is another Shock season ticket holder who is still trying to get $750 back, including legal costs from when he filed a claim in small claims court.
I just got frustrated with the whole idea since I've been a fan since 2009, and then to get treated like that, like, you know, he just put me aside all the time.
KREM 2 has independently confirmed at least 55 season ticket holders, saying they requested refunds from the Shock in 2020 for an amount totaling more than $18,000. 2 of them say they got their money back, but only after pressing their credit card company. In a phone call with KREM, Adams said he's authorized a number of refunds, claiming the money is being held up by online ticket merchant Ticket Spice. But in a statement to KREM 2, Ticket Spice denied that claim, saying the ticketing revenue goes directly to the event organizer. The event organizer is in control of how they would like to handle cancellations and refunds. KREM 2 has talked on the phone with Sam Adams several times in the past week. He has so far denied our offers of an online Zoom interview to respond to these allegations. He has promised to sit down for a face-to-face interview sometime this week, but has yet to agree to a date and time. In the studio, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News. The blood shortage the country is experiencing is only being made worse by workers at blood banks being exposed to or contracting COVID-19. But some people have asked if being vaccinated against the virus will cause problems for those wanting to donate blood. Let's verify. One KREM viewer asked, "Can you give blood if you're vaccinated against COVID-19? If so, does the type of vaccine make a difference? And are there any possible side effects for the recipient?" Our sources are Dr. John Hess, a professor of hematology at the University of Washington Medical Center, and Aaron Baker, senior donor recruitment manager for Vitalant Blood Donation. According to Hess, the question of if you can give blood after getting the COVID-19 vaccine has a simple answer. Can you give blood if you're vaccinated against COVID-19?
Yes, you can.
Baker also said Vitalant sees no problems with vaccinated people giving blood. Hess explains that the reasoning behind being able to donate blood after getting one of the vaccines is pretty straightforward, and it doesn't matter which one you receive.
None of the vaccines are live virus vaccines like the old polio vaccine. And so none of them create the risk of transmitting the virus in the vaccine onto anyone else.
Hess also said there is no known risk of side effects to those receiving a blood transfusion from someone vaccinated against COVID-19. However, when it comes to going through the process of giving blood, there are some precautions to take related to the vaccine.
I wouldn't donate while you're feeling sick after getting the vaccine, but as long as you're feeling well and meet the donor criteria, I see no problem.
Baker echoed those sentiments, but in the age of COVID, she says you need to be healthy before you donate.
We want to make sure that you as a donor are well and healthy coming into it. So if you have any symptoms, we do want you to wait about 14 days.
So we can verify that yes, vaccinated people can donate blood. It doesn't matter which vaccine you received, and doctors say there are no known side effects at this time. Both Hess and Baker urge people to give blood if they can, as blood banks are experiencing one of the worst blood shortages across the entire country, not just here in the Inland Northwest. If you have something you'd like verified, you can email us at verify@krem.com or text the word verify to 509-448-2000 and we'll send a link directly to your phone. With your Verify, I'm Ian Smay. Zach Zapone filled the seat vacated by Candace's mom. When he won, he made history in Spokane, and he had guidance from another trailblazing former member of the city council.
To my boyfriend Tyler, thanks for keeping me grounded.
When Zach Zapone was running for Spokane City Council, he got advice from a former council member that served 20 years ago. That was Dean Lynch, who served as the first openly gay member of the Spokane City Council after being appointed to a vacant seat.
Seeing Zach, a member of the LGBT community, being elected was just so heartening. It was, it's 20 years later, but I know that in some ways I helped open the pathway.
Lynch ran and lost the election for the seat he was appointed to at the end of the term. According to Zapone, he still had helpful advice when it came to campaigning.
I met Dean about a year ago when I was campaigning for this role, and he's been a mentor and someone that I turn to advice and talk to.
While both men made history with their service on the council, they both have similar views on how their identities as members of the LGBTQ community played a role in their decisions to run. For them, the chance to help the community was what drove them to serve their constituents.
I was first and foremost a member of the Spokane City Council, and secondarily, I was a member of the LGBTQ community.
And it shows a lot of the progress that we are making in our community. But it's also just one part of my identity. And I think I didn't run to be an out elected official. I ran to help and serve our community.
Zapone, a local teacher, was sworn into office in front of his students at North Central High School, the same school he attended as a teen. After making history by winning office, Zapone says he's seen the progress Spokane has made as a city.
When I was in high school at North Central, I think I knew one out person in my high school. And today I teach at North Central, and the principal has a pride flag in her office that shows how inclusive we are for all students and all members of our community.
Zapone also pointed out that he didn't experience any incidents of hate due to his identity as a member of the LGBTQ community during his campaign. In the newsroom, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.